I never knew there was a love like this before. Never had someone to show me a love like this before. I never knew there was a love like this before. Never had someone to show me a love like this before.
One of the most significant political issues surrounding soft R&B and pop music is race. As contemporary music commentator Cassie Dye puts it, being Black and a musician means being labeled as an R&B or hip-hop artist, even if the genre may not represent the artist's actual sound. This reductive categorization has historically placed Black artists in a unique bind, confining them to genre boxes that, while allowing for nuanced emotional and sensual expression, often limited their opportunities for mainstream success as quote-unquote universal pop acts. This raises a fundamental question: who gets to be a whisper singer without being confined by racialized boundaries? Janet Jackson provides a crucial historical precedent. Honestly, to me, she had the privilege of being part of a talented family who was already established, but she could also hold her own. She mastered the whisper singing aesthetic long before it became widespread, with her vocals often leaning towards a breathy, sensual delivery rather than powerful build.
There's something I think that you should know. It's not that I shouldn't really love you. Let's take it slow.
Janet, however, was an exception. Her vocal style was not only accepted but celebrated, largely because it was paired with groundbreaking visuals, political messaging, and top-tier choreography. She maintained firm creative control and a long-standing collaboration with producers Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, which shaped her into a visionary rather than simply a soft-voiced R&B singer. Despite her undeniable pop dominance with hits like Together Again and Escapade, the music industry frequently categorized her primarily as an R&B act. This contrasts sharply with white artists like Britney Spears, whose breathy vocals were embraced within the pop canon without much debate.
Can't you see I'm a fool in so many ways? But to lose all my senses, that is just so typically me, oh, baby. Oh, oops, I did it again.
Scholar Kristen Warner argues that Black women in pop must often negotiate their racial identity in a genre where whiteness is the default and Blackness becomes a qualifier. By the time Aaliyah, Maya, and Ashanti arrived, Janet's pioneering work was evident, but the industry context had shifted, presenting a new set of challenges. While these artists were generally praised for their studio recordings and visual aesthetics, which often minimized direct criticism regarding their inherent talent or looks, they still operated within the Black community.
The fact that, some people weren't sure and didn't really think I had what it took, of course it was painful. Rejection is painful, but, I felt deep in my heart and in my soul that I had it and that I would do it and that I could do it. And I honestly believed that no matter what anybody said. And I continued. I said, fine, you don't want me, somebody else will. And I will prove it. I will get out there and I will be a star. And I really meant it. And you have to have that frame of mind. You have to have that kind of confidence to make it in this industry or you won't make it. So I did it. And I'm very proud of the fact that I did.
I don't know how different I can do it. I swear I don't know.
Lips are telling me yes. Why you kissing on my neck? You're making me feel so. Should I stay? Should I go? I don't know. Your hot boy style drives me wild. But in the back of my mind, I know I really like the way. Oh, I can't let you get left me.
They often held high expectations for powerhouse vocalists. This created a subtle double standard. Even if their soft vocals were accepted, they were sometimes perceived to lack the vocal strength traditionally celebrated in Black music. Interestingly, while they occasionally faced criticism regarding the perceived power or consistency of their live vocal performances, this was frequently balanced by their exceptional dance skills and captivating stage presence, which provided a crucial dimension to their artistry. This dynamic allowed them to maintain a strong connection with their audience and navigate industry demands. Despite her success in pop market, Aaliyah's racial identity consistently positioned her within the boundaries of R&B, a genre frequently marginalized compared to the predominantly white pop sphere. Similarly, Maya, primarily marketed as an R&B artist, crossed over to the pop charts due to her softer vocal delivery and collaborations. Her successes, however, required her to work twice as hard for recognition in a genre that historically preferred black or biracial identities remained a fundamental barrier to being fully embraced as universal pop stars. The industry consistently placed them within the R&B genre, even when their sound and commercial reach aligned squarely with pop, demonstrating how race, more than just musical style or even perceived beauty, ultimately dictated their categorization and limited their ultimate mainstream ceiling. Soft R&B also involves a unique set of politics around how vulnerability and sensuality are depicted, particularly for Black women. For Maya, Aaliyah, and Ashanti, their ability to tap into sensual yet subtle emotional expression was a defining feature of their careers. In soft R&B, vulnerability and sensuality are often central themes, but their presentation varies. For Aaliyah, her persona was built around a cool, calm, and collected sensuality. Her image as a timeless beauty was a carefully crafted facade that never positioned her as overly sexualized. Even when you think about how she wore like the tomboyish clothes that showed like a little bit of skin, like people saw her as just a pretty girl who was like confident and mysterious. This allowed her to maintain an air of innocence while still conveying emotional depth and vulnerability, especially through her music. The politics of this image, though, stem from the industry's discomfort with portraying Black women as too sexualized or unthreatening. Aaliyah embodied vulnerability without being cast into a stereotypically submissive or passive role. She was powerful in her emotional depth and subtlety. Maya and Ashanti shared this careful navigation of sensuality as well. While undeniably sexy, their sensuality was portrayed in a way palatable to mainstream audiences. The portrayal of Black women as sexual objects in mainstream media has often been politically charged, relying on racial stereotypes of hypersexuality. However, these artists presented their sensuality as empowering, turning what could be seen as a problematic trope into a source of strength. Their ability to express vulnerability through their music, whether in love, heartbreak, or joy, allowed them to maintain an emotional connection with their audience while rejecting the sexualized caricatures often imposed by Black women.
How did you stay so guarded within your career?
This is what I did. I said, no, I'm good. Thank you. No, thank you. Okay, so you will be blackballed. You will be talked about. You will be shitted on. You will be rumored about. But you have to stand strong on what you don't care for. It's not that serious to me. You know, if I have to sell my soul, as long as you can go to bed at night and look in the mirror and be happy and say, thank God, you know, I've been kept. I'm still solid on who I am as a person. I understand that I might have sacrificed something in the physical world, but the spiritual world is not worth it. You're okay. You don't need to do anything. And I have people to take care of, so I don't have time to play games, time to be on drugs, time to be on alcohol. So my best bet is to empower yourself, get educated. It may be a process, but no person deserves to have an ultimatum over them.
Yeah.
For fame or for glory, because it's not glory at all.
The complex interplay of vocal style, racial identity, and performance expectations continues to shape the careers of contemporary artists. While the foundational tensions remain, a notable difference in today's landscape lies in increased artist access and the evolving nature of stage presence. Unlike their predecessors, contemporary style girlies operate in an era where social media has eroded much of the mystery that once defined celebrity, pushing artists towards a more public, seemingly down-to-earth persona. Furthermore, While singers of the past, even if not vocal powerhouses, often deliver great ballads, showcasing profound lyrical and emotional depth, the focus in modern soft R&B can sometimes shift.
For you. See, the problem is I'm black. I just have to be honest. White girls have social anxiety and all different types of mental health struggles that they're dealing with, and it's perfectly fine. Like, I remember one time she got on her show and she was making fun of me for coming out and saying what I said about my social anxiety. And she pulled up a picture of me, like wearing one of my outfits I was wearing on stage. And she was like, well, how can you have social anxiety if you're wearing this? I just want to clear up, like, I have a very big personality. And there are so many people with social anxiety who have very big personalities. They dress however they want to dress. We're just comfortable with showing our personality with the people we're comfortable around. And that's what I wish people would understand about it.
Crucially, the mainstream R&B landscape still grapples with a stark lack of representation for dark-skinned Black women, which places an even greater spotlight on light-skinned or light-skinned biracial artists who achieve commercial success. This implicit colorism or racism within the genre intensifies the scrutiny faced by soft R&B girlies, especially when their actions or statements are deemed problematic online. The very platforms that offered unparalleled access also serve as arenas for swift backlash and public accountability, highlighting a unique pressure point for this generation of artists. Against this backdrop, artists like Tinashe, a biracial artist, has openly discussed feeling that she doesn't fully fit into the Black community, while also facing industry limitations on the number of Black female artists allowed at the top, echoing sentiments about a racial ceiling. Crucially, while she is widely recognized and celebrated for her exceptional dance abilities and captivating stage presence, a clear parallel to the earlier generation's strength, Tinashe has also faced criticism regarding the perceived power or projection of her vocal abilities and live performances.
Either you get it or you don't, but Tinashe has always given Paula Abdul more than she's given Janet Jackson. And that's not at all to diminish her talent. What I'm actually saying is she's so talented that she can become famous in multiple ways. But I have always thought where she shined the most is in her dancing. And I would have loved to see her, like, take that Paula Abdul Paris Gobel track and become a world famous choreographer.
Yet her dynamic choreography often serves to elevate her overall artistry, mitigating these critiques and allowing her to command the stage with a comprehensive performance package. Jai Echo consistently employs a soft and conversational vocal delivery, creating a distinct atmospheric sound that has resonated deeply with audiences.
Hey, yeah.
You want a drumstick, maybe?
This time we'll take.
However, the reception of her artistry often presents a fascinating double standard. Paradoxically, she is frequently held on a pedestal for her serene, almost angelic image. Even as her lyrics can be quite explicit, like eat the booty like groceries, like be so for real. Her public persona has at times been associated with more rugged cultural elements such as crip culture. No disrespect, don't come at me. This suggests a selective tolerance for raunchiness or street affiliations when presented through an aesthetically unthreatening. Furthermore, early criticism for her use of the N-word, which she did cease to do, highlights the heightened scrutiny multi-ethnic artists face regarding their racial performance and accountability within the Black community, even when enjoying significant mainstream popularity. Similarly, Mariah the Scientist, another artist frequently discussed in conversations about colorism, delivers a unique, often hushed vocal style that challenges traditional R&B norms.
Oh, you know when I walked in, who I was leaving with. Took you long enough to express interest, but it's a good thing you did. Knew you was right on time, so much you can't deny.
She is widely applauded for her down-to-earth personality and her compelling lyricism and or writing abilities, which form a significant part of her artistic appeal. However, much like earlier generations, Mariah also faces persistent accusations from some critics and listeners regarding her vocal ability and perceived lack of dynamic stage presence, further illustrating the ongoing tensions between nuanced artistic expression and the industry's often traditional performance expectations for Black female and or R&B artists. However, a closer look reveals a potential hypocrisy in how these whisper singers are scrutinized, particularly with the advent of social media. Artists like SZA and Summer Walker, both acclaimed for their profound lyricism and songwriting abilities, also employ softer vocal deliveries and half-faced discussions.
You know what doesn't add up to me? When people say, put that same energy in your show, sis. I've been hearing that shit for years and I never responded because I thought it was so dumb. But tell me how this adds up to you. Just tell me how this adds up. People see me shaking my ass, doing some wild shit. Put the same energy in your show. Okay, I will.
Oh, almost. One of these days. One of these fucking days. Ugh! Like the movie. Go stream my movie. One of them days.
This suggests that the dynamics of light-skin privilege combined with the power of an authentic, often social media cultivated persona and lyrical depth can provide a different kind of leverage, allowing certain artists to transcend conventional performance expectations and navigate public opinion in ways less available to others. Social media, while a platform for direct criticism, also fosters fierce fan loyalty that can buffer negative scrutiny, highlighting a new dimension in the politics of celebrity and Black female artistry. And honestly, if people seeing you trying, they'll kind of give you some grace. The success of artists like Maya, Aaliyah, and Ashanti and their modern counterparts proves there's always an audience for diverse types of music. The rise of soft R&B demonstrates that while pop music may dominate the mainstream, there's ample space for music that focuses on nuance, emotionally complex themes. The achievements of these artists, despite occasional vocal criticisms, often offset by their dynamic dance skills, compelling lyricism, or commanding stage presence, shows that Black music, whether in the form of R&B or pop, can carve out a space for itself. Even within a landscape often dominated by white artists and commercial expectations, the politics of soft R&B, with its blending of sensuality, vulnerability, and emotional depth, offers a stark contrast to the often formulaic nature of pop music. While pop is designed to appeal to the broadest audience possible, soft R&B maintains a level of intimacy and personal expression deeply rooted in the cultural experiences of Black women. The genre's success points to the continued relevance and importance of diverse voices in the music industries. This music scene continues to evolve while the industry finally breaks free from its ingrained racial biases, allowing Black women artists the full freedom to define their sound, image, and success, whether it's powerhouses, whisper singers, or multi-talented performers, without being confined by arbitrary genre lines or racialized expectations. So that's all I think pretty much about this topic for now. Let me know if I overlooked some and what you think down below. And thank you so much for listening to Books and Looks TV.